greatly simplified form, we have the four elements needed in every timepiece. A source of energy or power, a means of transmitting power, a dial to record the flow of power, and a way to control the power.
Hello. I have some chocolate. Chocolate is very nice. Yep. How's everyone going?
Here, in a greatly simplified form, we have the four elements needed in
And happy time zone. Good morning to the people that it's morning for. Good evening for evening people and good afternoon for the afternoon people. Hey Demi. I will try put it through the screen. I'm putting the chocolate through the screen for you. For you, Daff. Spaghetti is great. I love spaghetti. Hey Charlie, welcome in. The queue is in fact open for anyone who would like to do the join command. We'll get started with the reading shortly. Speaking of passing chocolates through the screen, question of the hour. If you were a deity or spirit that people could offer to, what would be your top 3 offerings that you would want to receive? Let me see if I can add this actually and pin it in the chat. There we go. Coffee with cream and sugar, pastries and shiny rocks. That's real. Those are some good choices. Actually, I want to show you folks my new shiny rock I got yesterday. Ice latte, clear quartz, hibiscus flowers. Funny you say that. Check out my new clear quartz. You guys like it? It's a shiny rock and a clear quartz. Oh, looks like Viv is a red deity. Red wine, red velvet cake, and jewelry. And no name is real for the honey up there too. Can you bump yourself down? Technically, yeah. I guess if you wanted, you could donate and then choose whatever position you wanted on the queue. So imagine you were at the bottom of the queue and you donated just to cut the line in front of one specific person. Not even to get to the top, just to cut the line in front of someone. Demi's also a red deity. Anything cat related, anything dark red / burgundy, and milk with honey. Also, I like this rock because it's like I can hold it like this. So there's a certain shape I like that I can hold it like this. But it's also flat. So like I can put it on me if I wanted. Oh. Alright, let me get rid of that bot. Ban. Oh, thank you, Daphne. Yeah, a multifunctional crystal. It was a good one. I liked. Thank you for the first donation of the stream. That's very sweet of you. If you want me to change you to a certain position in the queue, let me know. I'll keep my crystal out. It can be out here like a pet. You guys can look at it. You want to be third. Alright, I'm moving you to third. You are now anti-priority. Ah, the Serpent's Omen. Thank you so much for following. Alright, no name, you're first on the queue now, so let me know what you'd like a reading on. We have all of our usual decks for today, and just before the stream I had updated my list to include my 2 new Oracle decks, which one you've seen before, this is the MTG or Magic the Gathering Oracle deck. And my latest deck, Egyptian Gods Oracle cards. Also, no name, do you think your parents would like exactly know that it's like a witchy thing? Because some people just like to collect crystals. Also, I agree, Viv. It's funny how no one wants to be the first. Oh, thank you, Demi, for gifting a sub. And John the Scavenger received that one. I appreciate that a lot. Your support a lot. Yeah, but I like this one. I've been wanting this one. Not that person who collects rocks. I mean, people change and they adapt. Or not adapt, they change and then they form their interests and personality and such, you know? Alright, while we wait for No Name to put their reading request in the chat, I want to show you folks this new deck. It's very shiny and very slippy, so it's easy to shuffle. Smooth to shuffle. And I love the back of the cards. It is pretty. Yes, I shall find him. Here is Ra, father of the gods, and the sun god. Look how big that sun is. I know, right? Deck wish list. Shout out to my girl Bast. Bastet. So beautiful. love this artwork of her. She represents passion. Alright. So, no names request. Yes, I did mention Hephaestus. Pretty burnt out with praying, even though I had been thinking about him a lot. Yes. Let's see if he has... Well, and I feel like they often do. We'll see what message Hephaestus has for you. Do you have a specific deck you'd like me to use for your reading, No Name? Also, making your own tarot / card deck / oracle deck is a really cool project to do, and a really great devotional one as well. I am wanting to make one for Hecate and her epithets. Alright, what do you think is best for him? We shall use this one. I feel like the crafty aspects of Hephaestus suits the vibe of the Magic the Gathering Oracle. Yes, you do have quite a unique focus on numerology, I feel like. At least from the people I've seen in our community. So I feel like that would be a really cool deck idea. Alright. From this deck, we'll ask Hephaestus for a message for Charlie. What does Charlie need to know right now? What would you like Charlie to know or hear from you? The first card we have is the Satyr, which is Trust Your Heart, which I think is a very beautiful message, especially when it comes to experiencing burnout. Sometimes we do feel burnt out, and it's a normal thing, especially when we try to go fast and go hard on things because we feel really passionate. But trust your heart is a very strong message when it comes to burnouts. It's not about what other people say or think a lot of the time. Wait, oh, I'm waiting. I had a feeling that card would come out. That's so good. Why is it so good? It's good that it's so good. Alright. So, the second card we have is Sacred Garden, which is Katametra. Which she's kind of like the equivalent of like Demeter in this deck. Because these cards, the fictional world these cards is based on Greek mythology. We'd been sitting in a VC yesterday with Ruby and had been kind of playing around with an oracle book, and the first page she opened for me was Trust Your Heart. Oh wow, that is actually beautiful. Yes. Well, this is just extra confirmation for you. You have to trust your heart. That is a great synchronicity. Make sure you write this down, like note it down with the date and everything, because it's nice to know these things and look back on them. Yep, your second one is Sacred Garden. And it follows the trust your heart, of course, responding to your burnout, and you're feeling like that you're needing to, like you might be straying away from trusting your heart because of many reasons and factors. But the truth of it is that Hephaestus wants you to know that when you follow your heart and when you listen to yourself, you will still find abundance wherever you go. Your abundance and your results and process and progress is not based on what other people say or think about you, and not based on what you see other people doing. It's about your own fulfillment. And of course, you will feel more fulfilled with yourself and what you do and what you receive when you are doing things that follow your heart, right? Heartfelt effort and heartfelt decisions feel much better than ones that are based on other people or social aspects, essentially. Sometimes our logic and heart don't match up. Sometimes our logic is very limiting, so that's something to remember too. We also have the card here, conflict, Mogus, which I find interesting. So what perhaps was there a recent conflict? I'm not sure if there was another person or within yourself, like internally, that may be sort of dragging you down or holding you back from something. I'll also have a look at the guidebook. Worried that burnout is a bad way to greet Hephaestus in your worship. To be very real with you, I think Hephaestus is actually one of the most ideal gods to experience burnout with in your introduction to him, because of his backstory and because of his mythology and who he is. He can be considered a patron of those who experience burnout, chronic illness, and accessibility issues when it comes to worship. So I feel like he, out of a lot of people, or not a lot of people, he, out of a lot of deities, if I refer to them correctly, would know best about burnout and feeling a struggle to keep up with things and overloading your plate and trying to fit it all and carry it all. Let's actually read the card meaning. You have a power within you, an inner resolve that makes you unstoppable, which you can access when you know what you truly value. Oh, actually, I read the wrong page, but I probably read it wrong on purpose. When you merge this resolve with your passion, you can move mountains. So that was actually the wrong card, but you could take that message as well, because things happen for a reason. Alright, conflict. Human beings are highly cooperative and social creatures. It is only our societal programming, nationalities, religions, ideologies that has us in conflict with one another. Each of us has the power to rewrite that program within ourselves and create a new way of being. Will we seek unity and acceptance or conflict? Oh, okay. That's literally the same thing as what I just said. In regards to our societal programming. So that fits in nicely with the all-round message around that burnout, those expectations in including Hephaestus in your worship. And Daphne's correct. Deities do love us at our lows as much as they love us at our highs. The beauty of our worship is that we are human beings, and sometimes we're unpredictable, and sometimes we have very unique ways of working that the gods don't experience themselves, but perhaps it is just what makes it so special that we go out of our way to try and honor our deities and be there, be there as followers. Thank you for sharing that, Daphne. And it's true. Like, not true for you. I'm not saying your experience. It's true that generally deities are there to pick us back up, is what I meant to say. It is a thing that comes up a lot lately because I'm doing a lot for a lot of people instead of focusing on myself. So the first thing works to kind of, you know what? I am very similar. I am very much the same. I do a lot for people. I'm a people pleaser. Something I'm working on too. It's a constant thing. I value service to others very, very highly in my life. And so it can be difficult to look at myself and decide what to do for myself. I think, is there any purpose to it? You know? So I understand that very deeply. Though I very much believe in your ability to look after yourself too and think of yourself. You know, just something as simple as just bringing up a conversation you want to bring up for your personal knowledge, like gain of knowledge and stuff in the server, for example, or like, you know, getting readings for yourself like this. That's already doing stuff for yourself rather than others. It's not a negative thing to do things for yourself. And that includes rest as well in worship. Resting in worship is a good thing if it means that you'll be able to carry on. Doing too much initially is not going to be better off for your worship. But yeah, that is your message with Hephaestus and what he wants you to know and hear about today in regards to your new relationship, your new devotional relationship, and also for your practice in general. I get that. If you're interested in any advice as well, feel free to pop a question in this chat or the Sanctuary chat about how to navigate some things that you might want some advice navigating if you're interested in getting some advice. I hope that reading helped you and or gave you some insight to some things as well. You're welcome. Viv, it's your turn for reading, so let me know what you'd like a reading on. And if you have a preference for which deck you'd like me to use. What do you mean when you say that you're scared to ask somebody about yourself? Like something for yourself, for your own, like, interest? I did see in the server. I do tend to read conversations if I can, and that was a cool conversation that I saw. We'll go to Dungeons & Dragons tarot deck for you. And we'll get a message from Odin regarding your dedication of your pagan TikTok account to him and some content that he may be suggesting as well for you to do and you may be considering doing. So for what I'm seeing, he's sitting, it's like indoors in this house, like it's like a culturally suitable house for Odin, and it's a wooden table and he's sitting across from me at this wooden table. Oh no, Demi, see you next time. I'll pop you off the queue for now, but if you do happen to come back, you can rejoin the queue. Oh, so your first card, Viv, is Ten of Wisdom, which I find really promising. Judgment and Six of Strength. Very positive cards here for you. Yeah, so certainly this is something that he's encouraging of you and wants to see from you. If you ever had like a question about whether you were like interpreting things correctly or receiving the right message or going in the right direction, the answer is yes, you are for sure. Ten of Wisdom. I love this like red robe on this person. I haven't seen this card before. Show you Judgment. Yeah. So I definitely see here in the Ten of Wisdom this sort of confirmation in regards to mythological work and looking at like the lore of things and being able to carry it really strongly and be able to like make it part of your brand essentially. To be very elegant with it as well. And yeah, just have a really good control and like I guess strategy or way of like approaching the contents that you'd make around this. I'll also have a look at the guidebook since I haven't seen this card before. So uniting the head and the heart, relating to others and your environment in emotional balance. Beautiful. So that's a really great one in terms of being able to feel more connected with what you're doing, connecting the heart and the mind. So something you're passionate about while something that is quite intellectually stimulating for you, being able to speak your truth as well. And, you know, finding more community and connecting with more community through this work. Judgment as well, I see as a card of rising up to the next level. It's sort of like a calling to something that you answer. So in this card, we sort of see this person here. They feel a calling to something. They're stepping forward out of the light by the guidance of some sort of divinity. So in this case, Odin, and, you know, ready to step forward and take that point, take that station in this work. So he's definitely acknowledging here, this idea of leveling up, coming up to the next level, and being very divinely guided. It is cool. It's so cool. I love this reading. And Six of Strength, of course, is our card of victory and recognition. You could compare it to the Six of Wands in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. So you're coming up soon, you're going to be gaining some public recognition for what you're doing. It's going to be a very celebratory time, very good, again, for your community and engaging with other people. And yeah, he sees it as a very great opportunity to be yourself while also doing a service to your divinities or who you're devoted to and finding new avenues of creativity. So yeah, great message in regards to that situation for you. And I hope it provided you some comfort and some insight, maybe if there was something new you gained from it. And yeah, all around just positive confirmation on this side. He sort of got his arms crossed and he's like nodding, like he has this like smile. It's like a very proud smile and like a nod. Very fatherly. Feel free to clip it. I know you can only clip like the last minute, but you can clip. You have my permission to clip stuff as you watch. Yes, wholesome. Dang, these cards are so nice. Yeah, that's a good idea. Screen record the VOD from your phone. And of course, all of my streams are uploaded to YouTube, the full thing, so you can always clip from there, like do what Daph just said, like screen record your section. Last week's stream is currently being uploaded to my YouTube channel. It's about 14 minutes until that's up, because sometimes I am late to uploading them, but they always end up there, because I don't want to lose a record of all my readings that I do, and to let people have a record of their own. So if you keep a track of the timestamp on the stream about when your reading starts, you'll be able to find the same timestamp on YouTube. And you're welcome, Viv. And yes, thank you to Odin as well. This confirmation was really strong. Let me just do YouTube. That's my YouTube channel. You'll find all my VODs there, and I have yet to start actually posting readings on there, but I'm having a lot of fun doing these stream ones in any case. Daphne's next. And for anyone who didn't know already, on my Ko-fi, which is, if I correct, there we go, links down there. It is, of course, my donation link, but I do offer private readings. They're usually written down, because then you'll have a written record of it, and you can refer to it at any time. And yeah, those ones are available on Ko-fi, also on Etsy. If there's something that you're wanting to request but it's not listed there, you can always send me a DM and ask me for something custom, because I have had that within the last week even. I've had someone, a wonderful viewer actually, Moonflower, request a specific reading I didn't have. And that worked out really well. Hello, Itzy. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for following. And, okay, let's see. Daphne's question. Can she elaborate on the mask she thinks I'm wearing in my relationship, or any insight related to that? The Fool flipped out. We'll keep note of that. We won't consider it a main part of the reading, but that might be important. How are you doing, Itzy? Feel free to join the queue using that command up there. I also have a question of the day pinned if you'd like to answer it. If you were a spirit or a deity, what would be your top 3 favorite offerings to receive? And anyone can answer that who's just come into the stream. Probably later in the stream, I'll replace the question with another one. Alright. Hecate is behind me right now. Hecate, may you elaborate on the mask that you say Daphne is wearing in her relationship right now? Itzy says, if I were a spirit or deity, my top 3 would be drinking an energy drink, making a homemade dinner or snack, or spending time taking care of cats or pets. Amazing. Those are some great offerings. So your cards for this reading, Daphne, are the Knight of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Star. So the first thing that's coming up in regards to this mask she's talking about is something regarding being truthful. Yes, it is a very pretty deck. That's a deck. Yes, regarding being truthful and honesty with yourself, but also honesty with others. I find the Knight of Swords really interesting in this deck in particular because of the way that the Knight holds the sword in front of his face. And it's sort of like this split or even like hiding behind the sword. And it's like, what truth or what sort of like statement or idea are you hiding behind? What are your actions being led by? And is that something that actually aligns with what you really believe? Because there may be things you're saying about yourself, about others, about your relationships perhaps, that you don't feel are actually true or are not actually aligned with what you think is true. So it could be either case where it's like you're saying something that you think you want to be true, but you haven't actually done the work to integrate it as truth in yourself. And secondly, telling people about something but not fully true, like not in a truthful manner. And this is regarding, you know, the Knight is about action and movement and taking a step forward on your path. So it's something that is like quite intertwined in terms of the path that you're currently on and the steps you're taking towards, you know, as we see here, the Six of Swords, which is to move forward. I'm sure you are probably familiar with the Six of Swords, but yeah, in the context of this reading, the Knight of Swords is about this path that leads onto the Six of Swords, about moving from one thing to the other, moving on from something, moving away from something, taking what's important to you and for you, and then going forth into new waters, perhaps going from turbulent waters to calmer waters, leaving something behind and letting go in order to find something new. And yeah, there is such a theme about this truthfulness because of the swords, and swords represent the mind and intellect and truth and honesty. She knows it's something to do with your hope, and you may have some sort of perhaps a bumpy relationship in terms of hope, and that can affect this idea of truth telling or being truthful to yourself and others. Where does your hope actually lie? Do you really believe in it? Are the things you're hopeful about true to you, and do you really feel it? Is it perhaps a resistance to hoping, or finding it difficult to move from one place to another in search of hope when it might be a scary venture even to do so?
Before I go, there is one thing I'd like. Do you have a recent case? A case, say, in the last year or two that might be of interest, topic, the feature story along with the article. Something a little, with a lot of excitement. You know how it's are.
Well, this dance hall racket might interest you.
Dance hall racket.
Long story. If you've got the time, I can.
Well, I've got the time.
You were worried this is what she meant. Well, I think it's a good thing that you had an idea of what she was getting at, and this is more of a confirmation once again. Hecate is in fact phosphorus, so she does see through things and shine the light on things with her torches, so it makes a lot of sense that she would bring this up. And she does care very deeply about people being her worshippers being genuine with themselves or with others and with her. So it matches up that she would bring it up like this. Oh, Okay, cool. I mean, sorry, not cool. Cool because it's nice to hear that she actually got in touch with, like, actually communicated with people during the meditation that I facilitated. That's what I meant. It's cool that stuff happened. It's not cool to be confronted with that message. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Time now for a little intermission.
Yes, thank you to Hecate for being here for this message, and thank you, Daphne, for requesting that. I hope that even though you were worried that it might be what you already suspected, that it might provide a bit of direction for approaching this. We have Dream It Possible next. Let me know what you'd like a reading on and if you have a preferred deck. What messages are there from my guides? Is there any action I need to take? Alright. I sense a big scary conversation in my relationship in the future. There tends to be sometimes big scary conversations for relationships, yes. Also, no name, it would have been nice if you were there. And hopefully I will host some more for you that you'll be able to attend and others will be able to attend as well. If I did pre-recorded, like, guided meditations with, like, different deities, would people, like, buy that? Or, like, not for, like, a lot of money, but, like, a pay what you can something. That's cool. Oh, this is market research. Is there anything in particular you'd expect, like you'd really want from it to make it, to feel like you'd want to put money into it? Absolutely. Because I was thinking, like, I would do them just, like, in the server still, because I like doing them, like, community-based. But then if you wanted it, like, at any time, like, on demand, and just, like, for your own time, I could do, like, recorded versions, like, pre-recorded guided meditations to put on my Ko-fi. Oh, I could also make, like, a custom listing for, like, if you wanted a specific type of, like, epithet or aspect of a deity. Because I can do, like, a general, like, the Hecate one I did in the server the other day, that was, like, a more general one. But then, like, if you want, like, a specific epithet or theme with it, you could, like, order a custom one. Well, no name, for some words thinking. For some future meditations, I can do them at different times. So they don't always have to be at the same time I did it last time. Alright, let me quickly do this message for Dream It, and then we can get back to the discussion about the guided meditations. So what messages are there from Dream's guides, and is there any action that they need to take? There is in fact a decision you need to make about something. Interesting. Also, I agree about like the being well paced. I just need to figure out how to pace it well for people because I care about that deeply as well. I don't like it when they're too fast. And I also agree about having some time with music so it's not rushed. For last time I did like a closing remarks thing where like I left it when the scene was activated for people to have the message and then came back after like 15 minutes and then did the ending. Would you prefer like if like in a pre-recorded one? Because for an event I kind of need to do an ending thing. But if a pre-recorded one didn't have an ending at all, it was just like the start and then music for the rest of the time? Or would you still want a way to come back, like a talk back? Like a guide bit at the end to come back to your body and to sort of like exit out of the meditation? Alright, so for you, Dream It, there is a decision that you're weighing up at the moment, or perhaps sort of like these two sides of things. We see here the Two of Pentacles. And Two of Pentacles is it's often about some sort of imbalance that you may be experiencing or facing at the moment. And this is likely to do with something when it comes to maybe tiptoeing around someone else, or feeling like you need to act in a certain way that can actually end up being deceiving. And you may not be deceptive on purpose, and you may not be trying to deceive another person, but you are trying to sort of like do this movement, like carry on with a duty or some sort of service or job you're doing without trying to disturb others. But very quickly that can affect someone's feelings or perceptions. And it may be more harmful than not to try and navigate the situation in this way, where it can be a little bit underhanded or based in presumptions or assumptions about another person. So your guides would like you to recognize what the situation is and what it means, what you may be doing that can seem like you are doing a favor, when in actuality it can be something that quickly turns the other way for the other people involved. So that I'm hearing like a suggestion for like communication with people, being clear about things. If sometimes you may be acting and then people expressing that they don't actually like what you're doing and you wonder why, because you feel like it might be like a positive thing. In that case, it can be quite beneficial to communicate with others and see like the entire picture and like the other side of the equation, to be able to feel more of this balance in terms of the Two of Pentacles. Perhaps even in your like connections, your friendships and relationships, you may be feeling that imbalance due to these ideas and factors. Does that make sense for you, Dream? So Leia, you say you like the exiting out. Okay, yes, that makes sense to me, because if I kind of just like was in meditation and then like had to do it myself and get out of it, I'd be like, oh well, I wouldn't know what to do. Well, I kind of would know because I've practiced, but I can understand like not knowing because you kind of just sit there. Is there communication coming in from the past? Yes. Oh, this is interesting. Have you ever seen the Nine of Swords and the Four of Swords in the same room? Lots of sleep-related stuff. Pay attention to your dreams. If there are any dreams or nightmares you're experiencing, I would say yes to communication coming from the past. I'd also say that it might be something to do with what you're seeing in your dreams and Yeah, what's sort of like keeping you up at night?
Hey, Ricky. What? What do you got? Wasn't that the Johnson rag playing cha-cha-cha?
You sound like, yes, it was. It sure was.
But I never heard it played that way before.
Well, a good tune can be done anyway. Now, wait a minute. Hold it.
Oh yes, for Magic Mirror, their answer is chocolate, candles, and incense, the fragrant kind. Fragrant kind. Those are some good answers. We were just talking about chocolate at the start of the stream, actually. Do you have a particular fragrance you prefer with incense, if you were offered incense? Also, the queue is open this time around, Mira, if you want to join the queue. You just have to do the exclamation mark join command and then you'll be added to the queue. So we currently have a few other people on there, but hopefully you can stick around and then we'll get to your reading after. Nothing has happened yet, or I've not taken action, but I feel communication might happen between a past friendship and I. Ah, I see. Well, sometimes in like a general ask of like what action you should take, it doesn't always address the specific situation you may be thinking unless you specify that that is the situation. I can see that there could be in this reading like a search for closure. If there was like a situation that has happened where there was sort of like a betrayal or some sort of deception, there might be some movement towards closure or trying to mend what has been hurt before. Especially if it's been coming up in your thoughts. I can see here, like with the arrangement of the cards, it's like thinking about the past and sort of considering the past and it like being quite a weight on your feet, like, you know, it's like metaphorical, you know, like weighing you down or being something that is informing where you step, so to say. No Name asks, if you offer flowers to the gods, how do you dispose of them? For me, I just put the flowers in the green bin, like if you have a greens bin for like grass and flowers. I don't know. It doesn't say about closure or apologies from the other person. That's probably not something I can read as well, since that's quite... seems quite up to what could happen in a conversation, and who knows, that has like a variety of pathways you could go. It doesn't necessarily say from the other person or who. I think it's just a very general theme concept of closure / apology / amendment of past actions. Bringing out into the garden somewhere is a good call as well for disposing of flowers. Can flowers go in a compost bin? I'm not sure if they can. No worries. I hope that things may work out. I think it is a very like up to the actions and choices of the people involved situation. not one that's meant to be read to see if there's an apology coming from one person or the other. All right. That's your turn, Omen. General reading from Dionysus. You can choose the deck. Well, I won't be choosing the deck because he's choosing the deck, and his deck is Dungeons and Dragons Tarot deck. Naturally. And that is very alright.
We don't know. All we got are suspects. My job, find out who.
Yeah, this is the... I move my makeshift mic stand. This is the Dungeons and Dragons Tarot deck. This is the box. This is the guidebook.
There's a guy named John, lab man. He makes prints of films. He handled this print. Then there's Smith. He's a film distributor. He sent the print to the station.
I think it does suit him very well. And yes, it's gorgeous. My uncle got this for me for a birthday.
And Harris, projectionist at the station.
I only had that print long enough to thread her up.
All right. Adopt your uncle. All right. From Dionysus, the Bacchic Lord. What message would you like Omen to know today?
We don't know. All we got are suspects. My job, find out who.
Interesting. So your cards are the Six of Charisma, the Devil. Have a peek at that wine glass, people, am I right?
My job, find out who.
And the Two of Intelligence. Very nice. Alright, let's take a look at the guidebook because what I find very unique about the D&D Tarot is that they have like a little description and then they have this like line as if you're like playing in a campaign and the DM's like reading the line out to you. So I'll read those out for you for your free cards.
We're stuck with a perfect crime.
So the Six of Charisma is about giving and receiving fully while not sacrificing your values or exhausting your energy. An old marina tells you the precise location of a legendary shipwreck off the coast. Oh, this guy's holding a wine glass too, like a goblet. That's cool. Alright, the Devil reads, how we deal with our shadow self. This card calls us to cut through lies and see how honest we can be with ourselves. You encounter a devil who offers you a rare magic item in exchange for a favor. Ooh. That seems like him. On that note of offering something in exchange for a favor, it reads to me that in this case as well, with this situation that he's speaking of, clearly about how you are serving yourself rather than sacrificing yourself for others or giving yourself to others. It's sort of like he's offering something from himself, like he's going to give you something, some sort of reward, some sort of blessing or like benefit, and the favor itself is working on this, because sometimes it is a big like effort to do something like this, to change an approach or mindset when it comes to how we are serving ourselves, what we're giving, and if we're doing things that align with our values. And it's sort of like he's striking a deal himself. I will give you this that you're asking for as long as you do me the favor of working on whatever this is. Now here's a good one. Tool of Intelligence. How our inner monologue causes confusion and how we must find a way to listen to our heart. You see a lever that is inscribed with magical symbols. Do you pull it? So there is a real theme here in terms of looking at how you're spending your energy, what your values are, aligning with yourself. Unfortunately, yes, shadow work, which, you know, that's a big thing that a lot of us are always working on. Oh, thank you, Vivi. I appreciate that. As per usual, if you would like another reading because you donated, feel free to add yourself to the queue once again. Oh, you're welcome, Omen. I'm glad it was helpful. And I'm happy to do a reading for you. So thank you so much for coming into the stream and requesting a reading. I felt quite straightforward as well. Because sometimes these cards are not as straightforward, but sometimes they really are. Like when he threw out like the three of something to me, like in a reading, and I was like, to a reading with Daph, and I was like, oh, that's very Dionysian. No worries, Viv. The offer is just there. Alright, Itzy, it's your turn. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that and would love to have you in my streams more regularly. Yes, it's very fair that you got a Twitch account for Daph's stream. He's always giving me the most him cards, like, see? I know, right? He's like, can you not see? Like, it's right in front of your face. You can't argue against this one. You're wondering if you're on the right path with Arachne and Sea/Water Witchcraft. Yes, that is okay and makes sense. Do you have a specific deck you'd like me to use? I do have a... I don't know if you already saw it, but I'll send it again anyway for any folks. I do have a list of my decks on my Ko-fi if you'd like to check it out and choose a deck you want me to use. As a reminder to my lovely viewers, I do have viewer rewards that you can claim, including some about like a oracle card pool. So those ones are 1,000 points each, and if you claim one of those, then right after the next reading you get an oracle card pool from the deck that's chosen. Cool. Priority Angel Oracle pool, so I can do that one for Daph in a sec here. I do have a few Angel Oracle decks, so if in the meantime you'd like Daph to choose one of the Angel Oracle decks, I can do that one for you. Here's a kitchen Hanyul for Hanyul moment. Right, we will use Hekate's deck and we'll get her guidance on this. If you're on the right path with Arachne and Sea/Water Witchcraft. Another Hanyul moment. Yep, those are our Hanyuls. Alright, hydrate. I've hydrated, my cup's empty. So after this reading for Itzy and the Priority Angel card pull, we will do a quick break. I'll get some more water and then we'll come back after I get my water. So we're pulling a few cards first in terms of Arachne, because sort of split. Is there someone that is making you feel like you're not on the right path with Arachne? Like, is there something that people are telling you? Or does it feel like, is there like some sort of like social tension involved, like feeling like you're not fitting in, or that you're not finding like community or finding others who like see this, like see Arachne in this, or your practice in the same way that you do, or like a positive way like you do? Imposter syndrome. That makes sense. Well, we have here for, in terms of her, justice. The Three of Wands. And also the Five of Wands. So I am seeing that there is a little bit of a feeling of this. Yeah, I can understand like imposter syndrome as well, especially in like a community of people who don't usually worship Arachne and focus more on other deities. Though with the appearance of justice and the Three of Wands, I can confidently say that you are on the right path with her. Justice is really great because it is a reminder to listen to ourselves and what we desire. Sometimes we don't have explanations and a logical reason why we may like something or feel called for something, but justice is this sort of idea of like self-justice even as well. You like what you like for a reason, or you are drawn to what you are drawn to for a reason, and if it fulfills something within yourself and inspires wisdom out of you, inspires learning, then that's all that really needs to matter. The Three of Wands as well is a great recognition that you are at a beginning of a great journey. You've sort of stepped out of your comfort zone maybe as well, because this is like following the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is usually around planning and like considering what steps to take in the big wide world. Whereas the Three of Wands, you're actually in the world now. Been in your life as long as you can remember. Yes, itsy bitsy spider. Yeah, the Three of Wands is a great indication that you are on a good journey, and it's a journey that you have taken some strides in, and one that has a lot of potential for you in the future as well. So I think that is all positive in terms of your path. And of course, there is that acknowledgement of your feelings and doubts around it, and that's manifesting in the Five of Wands. But the cards that accompany it really tell me that you're on the right path. Oh yeah, of course, our customary Eight of Swords. So self-restraints and self-limitations and self-ideas around being trapped. I also find the Eight of Swords really funny because it's like being trapped in a web. Just reminds me of Arachne for that. Alright, let's get some quick pulls around your water witchcraft and sea witchcraft path as well. Oops, I dropped those. Look at this guy, he's in the water. I think that's pretty good. Pretty good one. Six of Swords, about moving on from something and movement and travel and taking what matters to you and like taking your leave with it. I don't think it's like a negative thing in terms of sea and water witchcraft. I don't think it's saying like leave it. I think it's actually saying that this craft actually helps you a lot in terms of consolidating the past and like being able to address the past and then move on from it and take what you need, like your lessons from it, and then go forward. So I think that's actually a really funny one, and a really positive one in regards to water witchcraft and sea witchcraft. Page of Pentacles. Is there something... Does water witchcraft and sea witchcraft, does it have anything to do with stuff that you like to study or things you like to research? Perhaps a potential career path as well.
Back up the car, gather radio. Tell the coroner he's got to make another trip out here.
Oh yeah. So the Page of Pentacles is a great card for like the beginning of a journey in regards to your career, finances, material-based things. But especially for like studies, so pursuing a study of something or like a career. So this is a confirmation for you that your study of witch and sea witchcraft can intertwine quite well with your interests, career-wise and study-wise. And the Knight of Swords too. So don't slash away what you know that is true to yourself. Don't let the doubts and imposter syndrome get you down. And you can identify for yourself what is important to you and what is the truth for you. And Knight of Swords, the Knight is about taking action. The Sword's about truth and intellect. So you can take action and take the steps in your journey that align with what your truth is. Once again, linking to justice. So remembering, most of all, that what you do is based on what's important to you and what you feel inside, and no one can tell you otherwise. But if you need, then everything else here is pretty much saying that you are on the right track and there's a lot of potential for you career-wise, and that a lot of this may be just about self-restraint and sort of like these values that have integrated it internally that have caused you to have doubts, but looking really positive for you. I am going to quickly change the pinned message to a different question of the day. What would be your top 3 ID cards in a tarot deck? So if someone was doing a deity identification reading and they were like trying to see what deity was around or what would work with them well, then which 3 cards would come up? Holding yourself back as soon as I accept these parts of me, the better I'll be. You're welcome. I'm glad you appreciate it. And I don't think there's a rush in terms of accepting these parts of you, but I think it's like this real acknowledgement that This is part of who you are, and no one can tell you otherwise. And they fit. All of these things fit really nicely into things that you're interested in and you might want to do in the future. So a lot of great confirmation in regards to that. All right, it's your turn, Lei. So let me know what you'd like a reading on. For Mirror, their cards are Death, Four of Swords, and Eight of Cups. Oh, those are good choices. Is the Four of Swords because you like to sleep? What's your reasoning behind those choices? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And I also have to do Daphne's card pull. You know, I forgot. Anyway. That's true. Daph, which angel deck did you want me to pull from for your oracle card before I go fill up my bottle and we do a quick break? I think it's this one that you're talking about. Let me just quickly check my deck list. Oh yes, Healing Angels Oracle. Oh, No Name also has Death. So Death, King of Pentacles, and Six of Cups. Six of Cups is a beautiful one to use for an ID. You have this deck, has beautiful Lunar Moth, that made me remember about that card. Oh, wonderful. Alright, got your oracle pull for Daph. So here's the art for this one for you. Oh, if it doesn't slip out of my hand. Alright, so this one is the Angel of Courage. And these cards, they have a whole bunch of text on it, so I'm just going to read the text out for you. The Angel of Courage. Be unstoppable. To fully experience is to be fully alive. Ask the Angel of Courage to remind you that your life is meant to be lived to the full. If you feel drained of joy, stuck in a rut, fearful of taking risks, or bored with your daily routine, you may have lost sight of the fact that life is not about the destination, it is a journey. A ride. Yes, there will be lows, but also thrilling highs. It's time to banish the fear and reconnect with your childhood excitement. It's there just waiting within you. You don't need to throw caution to the wind, but you should allow the Angel of Courage to help you rediscover your passions and spontaneity. Take a small but courageous step. This can be as simple as learning something new or doing things in a new way. Or it can be finding the determination and courage to be true to who you are, not what others expect you to be. Believe in your ability to achieve your goals and dreams. When you see life as an adventure and throw yourself passionately into that adventure, there is no limit to what you might discover. Yeah, they really went. They went for you there. Big themes, big message. That's your message for the Angel Oracle card. Thank you for claiming that one. And once again, everyone feel free to claim your rewards too. Don't be afraid to do that. Alright, I'm going to do a BRB. I'm going to probably run an ad break and I will fill up my water and be back soon. So stick around and we'll continue with the readings. You're welcome, Daphne. Alright, BRB.
scene of our new star, and I'd love to introduce you before they begin. Honestly, we're all just bursting with excitement about this brilliant new performer. We think this one will not only win every award hands down, but it's just going to win the hearts of people all over the country. Come on, I want you to meet a great new star.
All right. I filled up my water. Check it out. Can't sip it because it's full. Okay, hydrate time. I've hydrated. Those watching, make sure you hydrate as well. Okay, cool. So if you say you have no idea but your partner likes to use a star for me, that's a nice one. Death says the Sun, the Fool, and the Knight of Wands. Those are really cool as well. Seven of Cups is about daydreaming, isn't it? It's even better. So Seven of Cups, the Death, and King of Pentacles. I suppose that is one interpretation of the Seven of Cups that is actually quite sweet that I haven't seen much of. A lot of the time people attribute the Seven of Cups to like decision making and being cautious of what decisions they make as well and options they choose from. For Itzy, the Moon, Six of Cups, and Hierophant. Beautiful. Alright, Lei. Was it your turn? Yes. Let me know what you'd like your reading on. Oh, I don't like how when I change the scene, the stream chat goes away. Alright, cool. Hecate or Lucifer or Asmodeus or Hermes. We'll do a Hermes message. Yeah, Lei's been hiding. For some reason... Okay, so I haven't even listened to the full Epic the Musical. But Epic the Musical is coming up. Different songs from that musical are coming up. That was quick. Judgment. Seven of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. Eight of Pentacles. So you've been working hard on something. Judgment, Queen of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. You've been doing a lot of hard work on a project. Something that has really encouraged you to step up into some sort of position of leadership, whether for yourself or for others as well. Leadership can be a quality. I believe leadership can be a quality that you exhibit towards yourself, to take leadership for your path, for your life, for the things that you're doing, for what you do from your day to day. we have Judgment here leading the cards, and as I mentioned before, Judgment is sort of like this calling towards something that is like a level up, a rising to, some sort of like awakening or ascension as well can be implied through Judgment. So if there are some realizations you've been having recently, some new learnings that have really profoundly changed your path and what you've been doing, and your concept of self even is what's come through, then that's like, this is all like positive reinforcement for that, and that he recognizes your practice in terms of how you've been trying to listen to yourself more, how you have been trying to listen to what you're wanting to do, and also the guidance. I'm hearing the guidance of your guides and spirits and deities too. You've been getting better at acknowledging those and being able to, it's not so much like discern them from your own thoughts, but more so trusting your own thoughts and trusting the guidance that comes through goes hand in hand with the Queen of Swords, I'd say, in this context. But yeah, these two together is really interesting. The idea that you're working really hard on a project and you've been watching it grow and cultivating it. And even though you may have outgrown one thing, perhaps there's like a project or certain pursuit you've been working on that you worked really hard on. You kind of, cultivated it a lot and wasn't sure about where you wanted it to go. Yet recently you've seen this like turn of events that have been really helpful in terms of redirecting that this growth and efforts into a newer project. So that's what I kind of see here in this transition between the Seven of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. Working yourself really hard and having a lot to show for it, and then actually refocusing it and finding a new project to put it towards, and like finding that organization and fulfillment once again. Oh, you haven't actually listened to the soundtrack. Very on par for him to acknowledge. If there is ever anything like specific that you do want to hear on, it's often better to, if you would like to put that forward as your question, then you get a more targeted answer from a reading for what you might be expecting. Okay, that's cool. Sometimes when people say that it's not what they were expecting, it's because there was a certain topic they wanted addressed, or like it's seen in a negative sense. But yeah, you weren't getting bonked. You were getting, assured about what you were doing. It's quite good. And perhaps it's just a sign that you need to, see your efforts and path more positively, and your improvements more positively, rather than thinking that you're gonna get bonked at every turn. Thank you. I appreciate that you trust me. Oh, love is in the bottom. Love is on the bottom for any lovers in the chat. Six of Pentacles at the split. So, for any lovers in the chat, constant message about giving and receiving, not giving too much, allowing yourself to receive. The usual. I'm sure that may resonate with some people here. So I was like hearing some clicking and I was trying to figure out where it's from, but yeah. Mira, it's your turn. If you would like to let me know what you'd like a reading on, if you have a deck preference as well.
As our bus goes on, the passengers are having a pleasant time. Some watch the scenery, others read, while others find napping the most pleasant way to travel.
Inside the bus, you can enjoy the ride and let others enjoy it. Or you can, well, look around.
Let me search them up. Of course, one of the Hermes songs from Epic the Musical is Dangerous, so you can listen to that one. Also, the famous one, I think it's Warrior of the Mind, where it's like, you are Athena, badass in the arena. So that one. Warrior of the Mind and Dangerous. Do you have any deck that has bones in it or anything you work with when seeking the guidance of the dead / ancestors? Okay, I don't think with bones, but the closest one for ancestors and guides would be the Oracle of the Hecatane Path, which might have bones in it.
Some crazy stuntman is going to try taking off in an airplane from the top of an automobile this afternoon out in the valley. Sounds like a story. Hold it, Jack. Take off from an automobile on a dirt road. Can he make it? Well, be a good picture either way.
If you would like me to use this deck, Mira, just let me know what you are looking for in terms of your question.
Every available development of science and engineering has been utilized to get the story to the reader in the shortest possible time. And now, the latest miracle of news gathering, sending pictures by wire.
Doubting your progress with her or progress with one of her children. I haven't asked her about this since oblivious most of the time. Okay. Sure. Is she an open deity that I am allowed to read? Because I'm not sure. I just want to double check. I'll also search it.
Some crazy stuntman is gonna try taking off in an airplane from the top of an automobile this afternoon out in the valley. Sounds like a story. Hold it, Jack. Take off from an
Not a closed deity. Folkloric Mexican culture. Do you know, Mira, if Santa Muerte is closed or open? She could be us, that's what I know of. Alright. So I'm just still reading to see if there's anything on that. We'll have a reading in terms of your progress. So the three cards we have here is Fileremos, which is Lover of Solitude, Retreat. We also have Clophae, which is Spinner of Fate, Destiny. And also Hecate's Deipnon, Sacrifice. So what I'm seeing here is that this idea that when we do doubt our progress when it comes to our devotions and the service that we do for our deities, it's a good idea to sort of take a step back, a purposeful step back. So not one because you feel like you're being like prevented from moving forward, and not because you feel like you're stuck or you're being dragged in a certain direction, but a very purposeful, self-initiated retreat, as we say here, backwards. And not backwards in progress, but in terms of looking at the bigger picture. We have the Lover of Solitude here, which it's also not one of those cards that doesn't frame solitude as a negative, but really as something that you can love and enjoy and also find benefit in. So I am seeing that there's likely a suggestion here to have a very purposeful, dedicated time where you sit with her. Perhaps if it's available to you, like out in the moonlight, out at nighttime in the quiet, maybe some sort of outdoor location that you connect with her, or feel like resonate with her in. A retreat also could speak about like going to a certain place and just letting yourself relax, or immersing yourself in a different environment that is not work or study or whatever you may be getting up to, away from others and like technology and, you know, being on call and like on top of things all the time, and just taking the time to sit and really consider and feel where you're at. Because we also have the Spinner of Fate here, Destiny, and that's a card that tells me that while there are some grand plans that may be sort of weaved out, or like big events in place that may be coming up that your deities or divinities, guides, or Lady Death are overseeing for you, you are still someone who can participate in your fate and your destiny and how you weave it. And so perhaps if there are some sort of doubts in your progress, it may be time to reconsider or reflect on or review where you think you are going or wanting to go. As I mentioned, there is that sort of influence from our divinities of where we're going. They have some plans for us. They have some ideas. They have a really high level of wisdom and perception that we can't see. Though there's multiple people here, figures here weaving the web. And so sometimes the web is better weaved together rather than alone. And if there's some sort of disconnect or some sort of feeling that you're not living up to something, then it is time to review. And the best thing to do is communicate about that too. Communication is a very strong aspect of having a close devotional relationship. You did say that you haven't asked her about this since you're kind of oblivious, and it's I can understand that with like asking other people to read on your behalf to help sort of translate these messages that can be difficult to translate for yourself. I feel that I get that if that's the case. But yeah, even if you don't read, even if you don't do a divination with her, like a reading with her, asking about it, being clear with what you're feeling and your expectations and voicing it without having to do the reading, like without expecting to hear the answer straight away, can be really helpful in this because it's still being clear with her. It's still communicating. While I haven't had much experience with her, I'm getting the impression that she really values that, being really upfront with her and being really clear. She doesn't like games. She doesn't want you to act as something you're not, or not feel like you're like not doing something just because you feel like you have to, rather than feeling like it's going to be fulfilling for you and your relationship and your devotion. So being the spinner of your own fate as well is really important. You say sometimes you get lost in thinking into it too much. That's her, yeah. That's what I'm getting. Hecate's Day of Non-Sacrifice. So sometimes these things do require sacrifice, but they're not sacrifice in terms of like heaving an entire thing and giving it to this person or like giving so much. We see here it's a simple plate of bread, honey, and garlic, and an egg. Hekate's Deipnon is a monthly celebration that we do for Hekate, where it's sort of our observance of her and our recognition of her as we move into the new cycle. And Deipnon is the day, like the last day of the lunar month, and it's the day before we start the new lunar cycle. So you can consider how these sort of movements through the seasons, through the months, reflect your worship with your goddess, your patron, and how this may play into how often you review things, how often you speak to her, how often you speak to Lady Death about your progress and your path. Because maybe implementing, even though it may be out of your comfort zone to be so forward with things, maybe there's a good point to be made in sacrificing a bit of that nervousness to try and turn it into a bit of courage, to have some sort of review with her every so often, rather than waiting till something happens to make you feel like you need to do something about it and you're not sure what. It's okay to ask Hekate if she likes or dislikes you. Yeah, that's okay. I can do that for you. Hi Jenny. I am good today. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Sorry I didn't say hi before. I was just in the middle of this reading. So for your card, in terms of Hekate's opinion of you, we have the Epiphanestate Thea, most manifest goddess, diversity. So I consider this a very positive card. It's one where she feels like you may have some good diversity of skills. You may explore things that other people may not necessarily, and you may be multifaceted and multi-talented, so a lot of different skills that you bring together. There's also this idea, especially with most manifest goddess, that I think she can appreciate you honoring some of her own domains, even through other deities. So yeah, because most manifest goddess is about the fact that she can appear in different manifestations, in different ways, even if not intentionally, and of course not intrusively as well. But yeah, that is a well-regarded card and well-regarded opinion of you. I'd say that she does see you positively because of the work you do otherwise, even if it doesn't involve her. You're welcome, and don't worry, no worries about that. I was just wanting to make sure about things because I do have a personal policy around not reading within practices that are closed to me, and not wanting to be intrusive of spirits or deities who may be upset if I'm trying to communicate with them. It might be disrespectful if I'm not aware of any traditions in a specific way. But I didn't feel like an impending sense of doom around it. So, yeah, I'm glad that you feel better about it and it was insightful for you. I don't know if she doesn't like me. I think she's fine with you. I think it's also, there's this acknowledgement that like you'll find the domains of certain deities in different places, and it doesn't necessarily need to be with, you know, her that closely. Some deities are just around because they're around, but you know, I'm sure she appreciates the work you're doing in your own practice. Yeah. You're welcome. Well, thank you for allowing me to read that as well and for trusting me with that guidance for you. And yeah, feel free to come, like, stick around and also come again for another stream if you'd like to ask for more guidance or questions about your practice or anything else. It's really an honor to be able to do readings for other tarot readers and content creators. For anyone who doesn't know, Magic Mirror also does streaming. So they do readings as well, and they also play games, I think. As far as I know. Do you look at your featured clips? I don't know if you play games. Oh wait, you do. There's literally wait, no. That's a suggested channel. Maybe it's readings. I'm looking at your page now. They do readings, at least. So you can check them out. Jenny, let me know what you'd like for your reading. Also, if anyone wants to claim a priority oracle card pull, now is a good time to do it. Because our queue is pretty empty, so it means that I'll be able to pull some cards out for folks. I actually want to pull one for myself from that angel deck. While we wait for Jenny to pop the reading request into the chat. MTG stands for Magic the Gathering, so it's this one here, the Magic the Gathering Oracle deck. This is the one that's based on a fictional realm that is based on Greek mythology. Oh, actually, that's the one that I did your reading with. I forgot about that. That's the one that your reading was with. Yep. Yep. Jenny, were you still around to claim your reading? Alright, I'm gonna pull... Oh, okay, I get 2. Alright, cool. I got this one. So this is my first card. The Angel of Intuition. And also the Angel of Reason. The Angel of Intuition. You know what to do. Intuition, also known as your sixth sense or gut instinct, is the part of you that knows what is in your best interest without conscious reasoning. That's funny because it's the Angel of Reason. Ask the Angel of Intuition to speak to you loudly and clearly. If you have ever sensed exactly what is needed without really knowing why, that eureka moment when the way ahead becomes obvious, you are being guided from within. It's time to take your inner wisdom seriously and open your heart to the Angel of Angel of Intuition, sorry. Clearing your mind and staying present can help you tap into the infinite wisdom of your intuition. Thank you for the follow, Smell. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. Also reads, if meditation is not for you, there are other ways to find stillness, such as walking, music, art, writing, or anything that helps you connect with yourself. Whenever you have a gut feeling in your body, listen to it. Remember, intuition will never speak to you in a way that causes negativity or confusion. It will be a loving voice of uplifting clarity, encouraging you to do something positive for yourself or others. That is so true. The Angel of Reason. Ground yourself. Logic is essential for progress. Ask this angel to help you remain rational. Reason avoids bias. It tries to discover what is true, whether you like the truth or not. Wishful thinking, anxiety, and intense feelings can cloud good judgment. If you feel confused or unbalanced, let the Angel of Reason bring you some clear-sighted guidance and illumination. Just because you think or feel something to be true does not mean it is. Step back, disconnect from your emotions, take some time to reflect objectively. This contradicts each other. Intuition and reason. Jenny, just as a reminder, I don't really do love readings on this channel. I'm not sure if you remember from the other times, but those are part of the readings that I don't do. If you have a different request instead. Consider the facts, develop an awareness of the reasons for your current situation, and create a sensible plan. Be open to learning from and correcting any mistakes made, and perhaps trying a new approach or changing your mind. If emotions are running high, try barefoot walking, also known as earthing. This ritual can not only help stress and remind you that you are part of something greater than yourself, it can also ground you and bring clarity and calm. 2 cards about intuition and reasoning. One about logic and one about being intuitive and listening to inner guidance. Perhaps they can coexist. Did you have a different request instead, Jenny? Alright, no name, you get a priority Hecate Oracle pull. Vocus Magicae, Raising Power. So for your card, acknowledge the power of words. Using your words vocally, written, in arts, poetry. You have been doing poetry, haven't you? You've been writing devotional poetry or something similar. This card's acknowledging that there's a lot of power behind that and the ability to put things into words and express them in that way and to be able to share it with others as well. Definitely something of focus for you to do. Raising power. Nice. A general read? Sure. Oh, I will send you some stuff, No Name, and it's on my list to do create like a starter resource for angels as well. I just haven't gotten around to it yet because I've been doing a lot of stuff, but I'll send you some links and some cool stuff that you can look into. But yeah, I want to make a starter guide for that. You're welcome. Yes, angels, angels, angels. All right. Let's see what our general message for Jenny is. All right, so for you, Jenny, we have the Knights of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and also the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, Knights of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Sounds very similar. So, looks like there are some good opportunities coming up in terms of networking, is what I'm seeing. Opportunities to network in terms of your career path and your ambitions in that case as well. The Knight of Pentacles, the Knights representing movement, taking action, and taking steps on your pathway. And Pentacles being about the material, the tangible, career, and finances. Knight of Pentacles, I believe, is the only knight in the Rider-Waite, or one of the only knights in the Rider-Waite that isn't actually showing movement on the card. The horse is still standing there. And that's indicating to me that some good foundations are being built and there's no rush towards what you're working on at the moment. Which is a reassuring thing. Sometimes things don't need a rush and they're unfolding naturally for you. The Three of Cups is all about friendship, being in groups, being in a place where you can share your emotions with other people, and yeah, collaboration as well, new relationships in a community setting, which is where I get the networking from, and it's connected to these pentacles here, because the Nine of Pentacles as well is about this fulfillment financially, feeling like you're stable, feeling like, you know, this woman here, she's in a very great position, a luxurious position, one where she's able to have all that she needs, and so you will be provided for going forward as well. It's really reassuring in this case. The steps that you're taking towards your goals is going to benefit you in the long run. I hope that all makes sense for you, Jenny. Let me know if you would like any clarification. Oh, also, cool thing, I have 111 followers. That's an angel number. Yay for 111 followers. Nice. We'll do an oracle pull for Viv. No worries, Jenny. Good luck going forward. Best of luck. Sounds like positive things going on for you. Alright, let's see what your Hecate Oracle card's going to be. So your one is Primordial Origins. So this one's the interesting one when it comes to like not only looking at where you've come from, but even beyond that. So on here, we don't actually have a statue of Hecate. It's a statue of a different deity. It starts with I. I think it may be Ishtar. Let me check. Might be. I thought it said in the description, but it doesn't. Anyway, it's a statue that isn't Hecate, and it's sort of speaking to how her origins can even be a bit obscured, if she may come from even some other deities of other times of the past, of different cultures as well, not just of Greek. And it's also like an indication for you to reflect upon yourself. Like, yes, there may be some origins that you consider for yourself, but even if you go a bit further back, how do those values and how does that history of yours inform where you are today? How does your past influence the present and even the future? Is there something that you need to sort of like reflect on in that? Is there something that you may remember, like, is there something in the past when you started this path, even if it wasn't that long ago, that you wanted to do, and now you're actually seeing it happen? Or is there something that you expected that you haven't made happen yet, and do you still want that? Or is it something that you've actually moved on from since then? So that's your oracle pull from the Hecate deck. Alright, so we will be ending the stream shortly here, folks. If you want to just take any last chances to claim any of the viewer rewards before we end off the stream. Oh, rereading the Book of Shadows. My first Book of Shadows is at home. I could probably look into it as well at some point. Did you have a certain angel deck you wanted me to use, No Name? I can use this one that I've been using for a few, or you can check my lists, my deck list. You're welcome, Daphne. Thank you so much for being here. It's really nice to have you here, and it's good to spend time. A Book of Shadows is like a witchcraft term. It's basically like a ritual book or like a notebook that you may dedicate to your craft. You know, it's referred to like a Book of Shadows because usually it's seen like in the shadows, in the dark. Not really a book that you'd be going around showing everyone back in the day, I guess. If you thought about how like those who may not necessarily call themselves witches, but those who participated in this sort of like in witchcraft, they would have like written things down to pass down in their family, and that could be called like a Book of Shadows. It's kind of like a grimoire, if you've ever heard of a grimoire as well. yeah, it's a place you'd write your notes, your findings, your rituals. Do you mean this one? This isn't technically an oracle deck, but I can still pull a card from it for you. It's this one. Maybe. That's not a definitive answer. But that's okay. This is funny. This is actually wait, I'm gonna scroll up to see to verify something. Because this might be really funny. It is. Wait, no, it's not. It's almost funny. Okay, it was almost because it's the Knight of Pentacles, and I was checking if that was one of the cards that you attributed to yourself earlier, but I think you chose the King of Pentacles instead. The Knight of Pentacles is Le Lahel, which is the praise. It translates to the praiseworthy God. Light of understanding acquires knowledge and cures illness. They're also a torch. They're holding a torch. I think that's really cool. So for your pull for this card, I feel like it really speaks to the situation in terms of like your path of learning. Like the Knight of Pentacles is taking action towards this path, right? And Pentacles as well can represent, if not career, then study as well and higher learning. So when I see the Knight of Pentacles, which is about movement and action with study and higher learning, then of course you're going to get that this is an affirmation about how you're going to have a path ahead of you, all about learning, all about acquiring this knowledge, shining the torch and light upon things, and having a good exploration, a time of acquiring knowledge. Trust is very much a good thing here as well. Trusting yourself that you will get to where you need to be and what you need to learn, and you'll find what you need. Also, it's gilded. Thank you. It is a very pretty deck. And I will DM you after this stream some links and resources for you, No Name. Okay, we got one last reading for today's stream. Angel Monster, what would you like a reading on? Unfortunately, I don't do love readings on my streams. Feel free to just have a peek at my About section below the stream, where I write about my boundaries and what I can read on. Love and relationships aren't a topic that I read on. But if you have a different question, then I can try that one instead. General? Alright, let me just put this one away. Alright, let's see here. sounds like you need some rest. Four of Wands, Temperance, and Ace of Pentacles. Four of Wands is quite visual in what it represents, which is to have moments of rest, contemplation, and also reflection. Being able to put your swords down and not feel like you need to grab them for the fights just yet or at the moment. You are safe enough right now to sit back and take your time. Especially because we see later here, if we just jump to the Ace of Pentacles on the horizon, there will be a new opportunity being presented to you. A new opportunity on your pathway, perhaps to expand your knowledge, some sort of career shift as well for you that you may be looking for. If you're quite like in a state of like wondering where you're going and you feel like you need to take a lot of action, well, right now, actually what might be best for you is to just observe temperance, actually, yeah. So some moderation. Sometimes we can't always just take action towards our goals, because if we take so much action that we're going, we lose a lot of energy that when the opportunities actually do come along, we aren't able to take them in the best way that we can. So at this time, observe some rest, have some reflection time, maybe do some meditation, see where you are going, where you want to be, have some moderation in terms of doing versus resting, and know that on the horizon that there is an opportunity coming your way, something coming out of the clouds even. You may not see it coming up at the moment, but it will be there waiting for you once you have this time of rest. That's your reading, Angel Monster. I hope that it may provide you some insights. You're welcome. Best of luck going forward. Alright, wonderful people. That was our last reading for today, so thank you so much for coming. It has, I agree. Yes. Take some rest. It's okay. You'll be fine. Yep. We'll be back here same time next week to do our readings. We'll see if I get another stream in before then as well, if I have some time. Oh, thanks, Omen. Thanks for coming. It was really great to see you here. We're going to raid a different channel if you'll stick around too, if you want to come by and see what other channels are out here to check out. So let me just take a look at who we want to raid. Let's see. Yes, you are allowed to clip your readings, so feel free to do that. You're more than welcome to, don't worry about that. And you can also screen record based like on my VODs. So I upload my VODs to YouTube, and so you can always just like watch those as well and record from them if you want to like screen record. But yeah, you have my permission to do that. Alright, let's see. Who do we want to raid? Thanks, Viv. And you're welcome. I'm happy to do readings for my friends. Alright, oh my god, it's so hard to choose who we raid. Do we raid someone new or someone we already know? Let me check out this person. Oh yes, the info dump. I'm so ready to info dump. Okay, we'll probably... You know what? We'll raid Wick because it is Wick's affiliate anniversary, and that's super cool. So let's go raid Wick. See you next time, my friends.